pulled down a corner by hand. And we tried to keep our nose just above the water to breathe while this goddamn thing is spinning down the river, you know, and Vilmos is shooting. And I'm screaming at the actors' directions, and Vilmos is turning the fucking camera, and we're flying down the river, you know, and suddenly one of the boats, Vilmos runs right over me. Right over the top of my head, drowning me. And you can hear me drowning on the soundtrack.
I want to go home, Mom.
The actors are great because they really, I told them when we go to the jungle, because we started in Bangkok, I said, when we go to the jungle, I don't want you guys to change your clothes. I don't want you to take a shower for a month. I don't want you to shave. I said, I just want you to eat rice. I don't want you to drink. And they did it. They never changed their clothes. They smell like garbage dumps, the three of them. And they really jumped from that chopper. That's them. There's no stunt people. I know because I was in the chopper with a uniform on, and Vilmos was right behind me, and I had fatigues on and a watch, and it's my hand pulling them on board. The Thai pilots were getting tired because we've been working all day. And again, it was the next to last day, and we saved all the hard stuff to the end in case anybody got injured. And without anybody realizing it, the Thai pilot his foot was getting tired, so that the left side of the chopper was starting to tilt. And what happened was he was kind of oscillating, you know, forward and backward, trying to, and he didn't realize the angle he was at. And the tip of the runner is curved up, just got a little teeny tiny curve. And that curve caught under the cable of the bridge. And what we didn't realize in his attempt to, you know, stay up, he was lifting the cable of the bridge. Now with the chopper at a whatever, 30-degree angle, 25-degree angle, if you do your geometry, the width of the blade coming close to the curve of the cable was like a hair's breadth. So in about a second, we would have all been incinerated. And I heard all kinds of screaming on the radio, and it was my guy talking to the translator, talking to the other translator, talking to the guy. And I actually had to climb out onto the runner and with my hand physically pull the cable off the edge of the lip of the runner so that the chopper would stabilize again. And we almost lost it then. That was pretty damn close. The night we finished dubbing it was at Sony. It was at 3 o'clock in the morning. And by then I had seen the movie 459 and a half times. And, you know, after you look at a 3-hour, 40-minute movie that many times, we ran it at that hour after the final dub, and everybody, including myself, thought it was a disaster. So they got the publicity guys, and they got this guy named Ned Tannen, who had moved over from Decca Records. You know, he didn't know too much about movies, and he's watching it, and oh, he's loving the wedding and the whole thing, and he's having, oh, this is terrific. And I hear them all mumbling in the front, you know, and then the scene comes up where Bob shoots the deer. And I hear, that's it, we lost the audience. It's all over, and we're dead. We should stop the movie at the end of the wedding. I said, Ned, you can't do that. It's only an hour. You can't have an hour movie. I mean, this is ridiculous. So, God bless him, Lou Wasserman. I go to him, and Lou says, look, we'll have 2 different previews. And whichever preview is better, that's the print we'll go with. So we decided we'd go to Cleveland, where we show a shorter version, which I cut down. And then we'll go to Chicago and show the longer version. and whichever one gets the best reception, that's the one we go with.
Nicky, I love you. You're my friend. What are you doing?
So I had an idea. I said, you know, there's just a chance these people might like the short version and we're going to be fucked. So I arranged with the projectionist. I went up, I gave him a few bucks. I don't know what I gave him, 50 bucks, 100 bucks. I said, look, why don't you do me a favor? I said, halfway through the movie, I said, jam the projector so the film burns. So everybody's watching it, they're really into it, they're loving the movie, the whole thing. All of a sudden, you know, what happens when the film gets stuck and it gets, you know, and it curls and gets white, you know. And the audience goes, oh. So the house lights come up, takes them a half hour to splice the film back together again and start, you know. And I knew by then they had forgotten what the movie was about. So they ran the rest of the movie, and of course it got a dreadful score. And then when we went to Chicago, I let the movie run, and that of course got the good score, and Lou said, we're running the long version. You know, we had a run in Westwood at the National, like, for 10 days to qualify for the Academy Awards. So the first night, we're running the movie. And I don't know at what point in the movie, Penny comes up to me, Robert Shaw's daughter, Penny, and she says, Michael, she says, I think you better come back to the lobby. And I said, why? She said, I don't want to tell you about your seat, come in the back. And I said, what's wrong? What's wrong? You know, I thought there was some disaster. People hated the movie or something. She said, women are passing out in the ladies' room. They're throwing up, they're passing out, they're crying. We have to get paramedics here. And I couldn't believe it. Then I knew we were a hit.
I love you.
I was just pleased that people weren't listening to all that rhetoric from Jane Fonda, you know, who kept calling me a fascist right-winger and singing God Bless America, how dare I do that, and she didn't say one word to me backstage at the Academy Award. Hanoi Jane didn't show up at the dedication of the Vietnam War Memorial, which I did. I didn't tell anybody I went, but I had a call from Washington after the movie opened, and this guy, the guy who got the thing funded, called me and said, Michael, I just saw Deer Hunter. I'm going to get a memorial fund, and I'm going to get a memorial made. And I'm proudest of that the movie got that memorial made.
For Christ's sake, Mike, Steven's getting married in a couple hours. I don't know what the hell we're even doing. We're talking about hunting the last time before the Army. The whole thing, it's crazy.
One of the reasons Deer Hunter works is because it's really ensemble, unselfish ensemble work with everybody not trying to be the star, but supporting everybody else. It wasn't a movie, as everybody said to me who worked on it, it was real.